Gentleman from Illinois, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I want to thank my colleagues in the Appropriations Committee. I don't come down to the floor often. This is a special occasion, a special time to bring focus on Yucca Mountain. What this money, as the investigation continues into the shutdown of Yucca Mountain, we have heard over and over again that the licensing application should move forward and let the science speak for itself. The $10 million provided in the bill is a start, but too low for the Nuclear Regulatory Commission to do anything functional towards reviewing the licensing application. In fact, just a few years ago, they were receiving nearly $60 million for these efforts. In addition, the Shimkus/Inslee, it didn't officially get recorded that way, but that's what was our intent, that Jay Inslee, my friend from Washington State, would join me. The amendment adds $10 million to continue the Yucca Mountain license application. There is $10 million in the bill, and my amendment would take it to $20 million. Our amendment is budget neutral and fully offset by taking funds from the DOE's Department Administration account. We are asking DOE to do more with less by making modest cuts to an account for salaries and expenses. And again, I want to thank the Appropriations Committee for helping us find a way to move in this direction. Again, I want to thank my colleague, Mr. Inslee, for supporting this amendment. You know, I've had a lot of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle talk to me about when are we going to have a vote on the floor to show our support for what we've done historically. In 1982, the Nuclear Waste Policy Act was passed. 30 years, countless different administrations on both sides of the aisle, different control of the chamber here, both parties. This has been our consistent policy for 30 years. Now with Japan and Fukushima Daiichi, and part of the problem being high-level nuclear waste stored in pools, we have to have a centralized location. And this amendment says let the science, let us finish the science to get to the final permit, and let that science be the judge that's providing the money. But I will tell you that we have high-level nuclear waste all over this country, and we need it in one centralized location. It's been our policy that that would be Yucca Mountain, an isolated area in Nevada, in the desert, 90 miles from Las Vegas, underneath a mountain, in the desert, in one of the most arid places in this country. If we can't store it there, we really can't store it anywhere. And as you'll hear from my colleagues who are already this evening, they're stored in locations where we should not have it. So I really want to thank the Appropriations Committee for helping me through this process. We need a vote. I'll call for a vote. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Washington, seek recognition.
Address House for strike last word.
Gentleman's recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. I want to thank Mr. Shimkus for this effort. There are really a couple reasons for this amendment. One is there really is a national interest here. We've got 75,000 metric tons of nuclear waste at 80 sites in 45 states. This is a national interest, a national bill, that an appropriation we need to get done. In my state, it's particularly acute at the Hanford site, a place where we fought World War II and the Cold War, and now we are preparing nuclear waste to go to Yucca Mountain that essentially would be all dressed up and no place to go if we don't finish this project. This is a very small step forward, but I do think it's important not just for the $10 million that will help us move forward on the scientific assessment of this, but in fact it will be another statement by this House of why we need to move forward. We made that statement in 1987. We made that statement in 2002. We made it again in 2007. This is a way to do it in the appropriation system. It is an important statement to make. We've got to continue to push on this ball uphill till this job gets done. With that, again, thank you, Mr. Shimkus, and thank you to the committee helping us find a solution to this problem, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.